Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the most seismic shifts in the NFC East in recent memory. Rumors are swirling, and I mean really gaining steam, about a potential blockbuster trade involving none other than Myles Garrett, the all-pro pass rusher from the Cleveland Browns, possibly heading to the New York Giants. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this real? Can we really pull off something like that? Well, the buzz isn't just idle chatter. It's coming from some pretty reliable sources, and if it materializes, it could completely change the landscape of the division and set us up for a serious shot at the Super Bowl. Let's break this down. The Browns are in a bit of a mess right now. They're sitting at 3-9, and their cap situation is exactly a bed of roses. About $12 million in cap space, but with a roster that's struggling on multiple fronts. Most notably, their quarterback situation has been a disaster. Deshaun Watson, who was supposed to be their franchise guy, has been anything but consistent. His rating this season is a disappointing 72.4, and the team has been giving up an average of 22.5 points per game. That's not winning football, especially in a division as competitive as the AFC North. Now the Browns are looking at their future, and they're clearly willing to shake things up, especially if it means acquiring draft capital to rebuild their roster from the ground up. And that's where the Giants come in. Word is that Cleveland is willing to part ways with Garrett, who's just 29 years old and arguably one of the most dominant edge rushers in the league when healthy. We're talking about a player with a career total of 98. 5 sacks, and he's been a force to be reckoned with in pass rushing efficiency. In 2025, Garrett has been exceptional, with a PFF pass rush grade that puts him in the top 3 at his position. Even though he's missed a couple of games due to a hamstring injury this year, his overall performance remains elite. He's averaging around 3-1 pressures per game, and in 12 games, he's amassed 35 solo tackles, 14 assists, and an eye-popping 19 sacks. Yes, 19 sacks, with 127 yards lost for opposing quarterbacks. His relentless pass rush ability, combined with his disruption plays, 3 forced fumbles this season, makes him a game-changer. Now the big question, what would the Giants need to give up to land Garrett? Reports suggest that Cleveland is asking for a first-round pick along with a 4th-rounder in the 2026 draft. That's a steep price, but considering the impact Garrett can have, especially with the Giants' recent struggles on defense, it might be worth it. Our pass rush has been a weak point, ranked 22nd in sacks and allowing roughly 2 points per game, so adding a player of Garrett's caliber could turn our defensive line into a true nightmare for opposing offenses. Think about a front with Garrett and Kayvon Thibodeaux wreaking havoc together. It's a duo that could elevate our entire defense, forcing quarterbacks into hurried throws and increasing our turnover opportunities. And let's not forget the strategic importance of this move. The Giants have been rebuilding, focusing heavily on bolstering their pass rush and secondary, but the lack of consistent pressure has been a glaring weakness. Since Thibodeaux' shoulder injury, our pass rush has taken a hit, and opponents have exploited that. Bringing in Garrett would not only add immediate talent, but would also send a message that the Giants are serious about contending now. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends down the line, especially if it helps us climb out of the NFC East basement and make some noise in the playoffs. The NFC East is a division that's been up for grabs for a while now, with the Eagles flexing their muscles, the Cowboys always lurking, and the Commanders trying to find their footing. But if the Giants manage to land Garrett, it could be the catalyst for a division shakeup. The odds are currently stacked against us, about plus 15-0 to win the division. But with a player like Garrett anchoring our pass rush, those odds could shift considerably. Imagine the impact he'd have in key games, especially in the playoffs. His ability to generate pressure, combined with the talent we already have, like Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams, would turn our front 7 into one of the league's most feared units. On the other side, Cleveland's perspective is interesting. They're clearly in a rebuild mode, looking to shed cap space and draft assets for the future. They've also got to consider whether they want to continue investing heavily in their front 7, especially with their sack numbers down, only 25 total sacks this season, which is 20 fewer than last year. It's a sign that their pass rush has been crumbling, and perhaps Garrett is the piece they want to move on from to reset their roster. This also echoes some of the mistakes they made in 2022 when they traded away key assets prematurely, trying to fix things in the short term instead of building for longevity. Now, for the Giants, acquiring Garrett isn't just about fixing the pass rush. It's about making a statement. It signals that we're serious about competing, about turning this team into a playoff contender and possibly more. It's about giving Daniel Jones the weapons he needs and creating a defense that strikes fear into opponents. The potential synergy with Thibodeaux and the rest of our defensive front could be electric, and it could unlock the full potential of our secondary, which has been improving but still needs that extra push. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and there are hurdles. Cap space could be a challenge, but with some creative restructuring and perhaps a bit of maneuvering, the Giants could find a way to make it work. The draft capital is significant, but if you consider the impact Garrett could have, it's a price worth paying. Plus, this move would send a clear message to our division rivals, especially the Eagles and Cowboys, that the Giants are back in the game and willing to make bold moves to get to the top. And let's not forget, this isn't just about this season. It's about setting up a future where the Giants are contenders for years to come. Garrett's contract runs through 2025, and with the right pieces around him, he could be a cornerstone for a Giants defense that's built to last. Imagine a front line with Garrett, Thibodeaux, and Leonard Williams all working in concert. An absolute nightmare for offenses trying to block us. Now, I know some fans might be thinking, is this too risky? What if we give up too much and it doesn't work out? That's always the gamble with trades like this. But if you look at what Garrett can do on the field, his proven production, and his impact on the game, it's hard to argue against pulling the trigger if the opportunity arises. The NFL is a league of risk and reward, and sometimes you have to take that leap to reach the next level. Look, the deadline for trades is coming up fast, April 4th. So the clock is ticking. The Giants have a real shot to make this happen, and it could be the move that catapults us into serious contention. Cleveland is clearly open to negotiations, and with the right package, we could see Garrett donning the Giants' blue soon enough. It's a bold, high-stakes gamble, but one that could redefine the future of the franchise. So, Giants fans, keep your eyes peeled. This could be the start of something special. Imagine a defense that strikes fear into every quarterback, a front seven that dominates, and a division that suddenly looks very different. That's the kind of future we're talking about if we can land Myles Garrett. It's a bold move, but one that could pay off big time. And honestly, isn't that what we all want? To see the Giants back on top, roaring for that Lombardi trophy once again? Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think acquiring Myles Garrett is the move that takes us over the top? Would you be willing to part with those draft picks for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Remember, this isn't just about a trade. It's about the future of our team, our city, and our quest for that elusive Super Bowl. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Giants news. We're on the brink of something exciting. Let's keep the passion alive and keep that hope burning bright. Go Giants!